What's up, guys? Good evening. It is 9 p.m. Thursday, September 25th of 2025. This is Brian Mitchell from Trade Algo. Want to make a follow-up video from yesterday. I want to start off today with Bitcoin because that analysis played out to the T. Um, and then we'll get into a little bit of an uneventful stock market that happened today due to some low liquidity. But let me see if I can go back to the video that I made yesterday. You guys all have access to it, obviously. I'm going to see if hopefully I can hear the video that I played from yesterday, this one right here on this live.
Fair value gap there, a 4 hour bearish fair value gap there, and another 4 hour bearish that 4 hour bearish fair value gap. Wow, that's a tongue twister. I didn't even know that. And we still haven't invalidated any of them. We still haven't got a candle close above this bearish fair value gap to take it off the charts. I mean, much less this one and much less this one. And it's going to be really hard to cut through this cheese. If anything, I expect a dump, right? See how every time we try to climb up, we get viciously slapped back down. I mean, this is the weakest uptrend I've ever seen, right? I don't think we're ready. I'd love to be pleasantly surprised, but this looks like it has further downside. So where are my buying targets? Let's zoom back out and see what hasn't been touched. What do you mean, Brian? We might even come back to test the lows.
Of course,
this is where I start allocating. But if it gets down to the 107 level,
yes. So what? Let me see Ethereum really quick.
Bookmark this. Write it down. Put a post-it on your head. Maybe not your head, but put a post-it on the wall next to you. And when it manifests, and I'm gonna clip this video and show you the date and show you should have bought. Not financial advice. I'm just saying hypothetically, if I was speaking to myself, I mean I'm gonna be buying, but to the self in the what is that universe called where there's splits?
All right, so ETH did play out at exactly a support level, and I did share with Trade Algo members. I obviously can't share leverage trades because that kind of we can only go through Coinbase, and we need to open up a crypto program. The Obsidian program is a little bit on hold right now, so um, this is a potential of what could have happened. But I bought in spot, guys. Exactly that level. I told everyone I averaged in. Even without the leverage, guys, the analysis played out to the T, ladies and gentlemen. I just wish the stock market had more liquidity because if it doesn't matter if we move hard up or hard down, we need a little bit of movement in the stock market. First, it was all this chop going into FOMC and are they going to cut rates and how much are they going to cut rates? And now that we know, oh, it's only 25 basis points, they might get another couple rate cuts in the rest of the year. Will they? Will they not? And this news-based market that we're in just kind of puts us in limbo, right? So let's take a look at SPY and then QQQ and IWM. I started off yesterday's video by saying initially, before I gave the bullish scenario, that we close under the 10. See how we bounced off it beautifully here, bounced off it beautifully here, and then we couldn't get a bounce here. That signaled a little bit of weakness, and I should have stuck with my gut. Because, of course, we're not here to predict the market, but there are certain things that kind of move the probabilities in one favor over the other, even though both are possibilities, right? They're not equal possibilities. I was a little bit more bearish than bullish. It was just a little bit weird. If we closed a little bit more convincingly under this 10, I would have said for sure, this thing looks like it's going to go down. I even told the group in the chat, hopefully it doesn't take too long to scroll all the way back up. I said somewhere around 6 p.m. before I made the YouTube video yesterday that the market looks bearish. Let me see if I could find it. It was around 6 p.m., I remember, yesterday. It appears tomorrow we get a bit more downside. Shorting the market is not a bad idea. Of course, not financial advice. I'm not a big fan of doing this in every video, but I think I must because we're not here to offer financial advice. It's just to show that there are certain things that you can look at to make educated choices on where the market is going, right? So screenshot that if you need to. But yeah, the market did kind of do what I anticipated, not predicted, anticipated based on what we were looking at. So, something to note going into tomorrow. The uptrend is now broken. Ah, higher high, higher low, higher. I don't know if that's a higher low. Let's just say it is. Higher high, higher low. That's the higher low in an uptrend. We could not close below here. Higher high, we couldn't defend it, guys. We got a lower low. Now, downtrends are not lower lows and lower lows and lower lows, right? As soon as we form a lower low, a newbie thinks, oh, let me buy some puts. But that's just not understanding how downtrends work. Lower lows are usually, yeah, sometimes we keep going lower, but they're usually followed by lower highs before the next leg down. And if you bought puts here thinking it's going to go lower, you're going to more than likely, I can't say for sure, you're more than likely going to have to stomach the leg up before the leg down. And then people sell early because they look at their P&L contracts and they bought puts a little bit too soon or shorts a little bit too soon. But we are now in a downtrend. It would appear so, right? We got a lower low. So I am expecting a bounce tomorrow, right? Probably, let's go to the Technical Analysis Bible, which I put in the description of every video. It's free for everybody. I don't charge for this, neither does Trade Algo. Um, and this is just to help you guys get better. I read this every day. It says here, people think I'm lying. I read this document every day. It takes 2 minutes to get through this document, and you actually get reminded and repeated on, rules of technical analysis. That's actually the way you remember information is repetition, repetition, repetition. You want to repeat the stuff you want to stick in your head, right? So let's go to that technical analysis Bible and go to Rule 5B, I believe. In a downtrend, resistance is always stronger than support. That's what I wanted to show before I finish up with SPYs. So we're in a downtrend. Lower lows, lower high to that 10 simple moving average, somewhere around 662-ish. And then we might get the next leg down. We're going to have to watch it. It might even liquidity grab a little bit higher before coming down, but I'm starting to look for green candles tomorrow for puts, right? So I think that is, Rule 5A. I use green candles to look for puts at major resistance, right? Because we're now in a downtrend, and in a downtrend, resistance is stronger than support. So I'm going to be looking, and I think anything on the daily time frame is major, or anything higher. Daily, weekly, and monthly are all high time frames. And of course, Rule 3, the bigger the time frame on the charts, the more respected, the more reliable things are, right? Everything on your chart is more reliable on the daily than the 4 hour, blah, 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 blah. So that's why let's see if Q's looks a little bit different because it did look different yesterday. We bounced nicely off the 10. I think we might have held it today. No, we lost it. Here's the interesting thing about Qs. Notice how the trend is not broken to the downside like SPY, right? Now, these two typically move in tandem, which is there's a little bit of a disconnect here, right? Higher high, here's the higher low. It looks like we went lower and then protected the uptrend. So they're not moving completely in tandem. And that's likely because you have either Microsoft or NVIDIA. Remember, QQQ is a little bit more tech heavy than SPY. It has a larger allocation of Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. So I think Apple held it up. It looks like, and that could have been pure manipulation. We don't know, but they're not moving totally in sync. This is what happened with SPY yesterday, though. I'm still thinking a little bit bearish because it closed under the 10. And if there's any sort of history rhymes, right? That's what happened yesterday with SPY before the dump. So I'm starting to think err on the side of possibilities that we're going to get more downside after a brief uptick tomorrow. And of course, there is a bullish case. Like I said, the bullish case is not broken. I mean, the trend is not broken, but there's not much, there's not much. We might get a brief bounce tomorrow. And who knows? Maybe QQQ saves the day and drags SPY's sorry butt with it. So a lot of mixed signals, I should say. So let me look at the 4 hour before I go to IWM. Yeah, look how flat the day ended, man. I mean, we went down and then recovered, went down and recovered, and we still closed the day red somehow, but it's struggling too hard to get up there. I like the volume that came in, but this is weak. Look at this volume and look at the candle, right? So let's take a look at IWM, which was in a range yesterday, if you guys recall, and it's still like QQQ holding the uptrend. How about that? So there is a possibility for upside tomorrow. I'm not going to totally discount it and just say SPY's in a downtrend. I'm starting to think that might be a fake out. So higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Here's the higher low that was defended. See, so Qs and IWM might save the day tomorrow, guys, but we're gonna have to play it by ear. Um, what would almost guarantee downtrend next week is if we lose this weekly support somewhere around 230, 850. IWM I typically use as a leading indicator for the other indexes. So if we lose this weekly support tomorrow, it's not that far away. Then douche, douche, douche. I mean that can be not pretty. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum will wrap up. Bitcoin made a nasty spill today. Absolutely disgusting spill. It's trying to find support at this daily support somewhere in the 108 level. I did tell you guys this is where I start to get bullish, right? I'm going to be mega bullish between 104 and 107. That's where the fear in the market is going to be just, it's going to be ripe and it's going to be prime. It's like eating a mango at the perfect time when enough people start calling for 90K and 60K and blah, 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 and on CT on crypto Twitter, I buy when there's blood on the streets, even if the blood is my own. That has never failed me, right? Even during the tariffs. I mean, most people were so scared and thinking it's going to just go lower and lower, but that really was the right time to buy when the fear was its highest. Right now, this is the calmest I've ever been in a downtrend this aggressive, right? I think we're nearing a bottom, and yeah, like I said, I am bullish. I actually have this here to remind me: be bullish around here. Don't let your stupid emotions, Brian, like get the best of you and take you out of your logical frame. So Bitcoin, you could even start averaging here, honestly. Even if we lose this daily support tomorrow, somewhere around the 108.5 level, I'm gonna be super bullish between 107 and 104. I doubt we lose the 200 simple moving average, which we haven't tested in a while. So yeah, it's around 104.5. But I will be buying, 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 buying. And then my mega buys, yeah, roughly around 104.5. So uh maybe I shouldn't be sharing all my secrets. For now, we're trying to get the channel to grow. We're trying to give value to our members and folks that are considering joining TradeAlgo. Ethereum lost some supports. This looks ugly. So we lost this 4-hour bullish fair value gap. So let me take that off the chart. We got a candle close below it. We lost this super trend. That's no bueno. We lost this daily support. Let me see. Yeah, wow. Ouch. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to make some choices here. Okay. Dude, what is going on here? Give me a second, guys. I got to remove this and put it here. And then the next support is down there. Wow. Let me change that. Okay, we're in a downtrend now. See how we lost I mean, that we were in a downtrend as of yesterday with a couple days ago with this candle. What's bizarre is just this downtrend is absurdly aggressive, and that's why I said yesterday it's engineered. Downtrends are lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, not lower lows and lower lows and lower lows. That's part of the risk of playing crypto, that this is pure manipulation, unbelievable manipulation. Even here, the downtrend was a little bit less aggressive, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we got into an uptrend that didn't sustain, right? We started getting into a downtrend where we're for sure in a downtrend right here. And now we're trying to form the start of an uptrend, right? So um, I think we lost that 4-hour support as well. You see? No, we held it by the skin of our teeth. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Okay, but we lost this 4-hour bullish fair value gap. and we lost this daily bullish fair value gap. The good news is that no bearish fair value gaps formed. Remember, I said yesterday when a bearish fair value gap forms, like this one did yesterday, for our bearish fair value gap. Typically, when a bearish fair value gap forms, it signals continuation, right? So see candle one, candle two, candle three, and candle two being the biggest. So I take wick candle one and wick candle three, and then just draw my gap. There's no bearish fair value gaps that have formed. So this might be the actual bottom, guys. I did signal to you guys, or trade algo members at least, that my average, I took a position at 440.20, and then I grabbed it at 38.30 or something like that. And I had an average at pretty much where we are right now. This might be the bottom. And trade algo members, I mean, I don't know if they have, a few $1,000s to buy a couple Ethereums, right? But you don't have to buy full Ethereum, right? You could buy $10 of it if you really want to. Not financial advice, but no bearish fair value gaps formed. That is encouraging. Even if we get another manipulated dump all the way down to 37.64, I highly doubt it. I'm a big buyer down here, guys. Huge buyer down here. Let me put that arrow down there so I don't forget. We'll see. A lot of shenanigans happens while I'm sleeping during the China hours, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But I know we want concrete and definitive. What's the market going to do? But it's not clear in the stock market because of the conflicting information between SPY and QQQ and IWM. QQQ and IWM maintained their uptrends on the daily. SPY did not. It's kind of, wishy-washy. So because 2 out of the 3 indexes maintain an uptrend, it's possible that we move up and then SPY might drag the party down later. So tomorrow, hopefully we don't gap up too much and we can actually play some of the upside and then look for puts at the appropriate resistances if need be. All right, guys. So I'll be here tomorrow at golden hour, as usual on Thursdays and Fridays in live sessions, live trading room, and then I will be in the following hour after golden hour, day trade with Brian here in the live stream tab to continue the live stream. All right, guys. That's it for me. As always, have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you for your time. I sincerely appreciate it because time is something you can't get back. So if you're here at the end of this video, you're the real MVP. I love folks that, better themselves and want more for themselves and put the time and effort to learn and study because that's what I did obsessively. If you got value out of this, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you haven't because I'm going to try to be a little bit more active so that you guys get more value, more education, more everything. And I'll see you guys on the winning side of the fence. Everyone take care.